So I'm Jeremiah. I'm the owner of Tiled Concepts here in North Carolina. My specialty is kitchens and bathroom, and I specialize in tile.
I'm Omar from Daddy and Daughters. I specialize in bathroom renovations here in New York.
I am Donnie here in Charleston, South Carolina. I am the owner of Bennett Flooring and Tile and specialize in basically all flooring and tile and bathroom renovations.
I am Harry, owner of C&B Construction, also based out of Charleston, South Carolina. And I consider myself a bathroom remodeler, but I do a little bit of everything. That's about it.
All right.
Did I miss something?
No, I think
Harry's
we're
a
good.
jack of all trades.
Yes.
Master of none. That's a good saying.
Yeah.
Though. Nobody
Aren't
really
we
knows
all?
that full saying. You guys know that full saying?
Yeah. So it's a
Got it.
jack
Yeah,
of all
yeah, yeah.
trades is a
I can't think of the rest
master
of it right now.
I bet you
none.
Donnie doesn't know the full saying.
Yeah.
What's that? Jack of all trades, master of none?
Yeah. What's the rest?
I
But
have no idea.
Yeah.
there is
Always
there
better
is the
than
but.
master of one. So that's
Exactly.
the end. It's Jack of all trades, master of none, but always better than master of one.
Oh, there you go.
That's the end of that. I just found that, which makes complete sense.
But always, see, I told you, you're always going to have something to write down. But always.
Donnie taking notes. Hold up.
See that? You never know, man.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
weekly update. How'd everybody do this week? How's business going? How's the flow going? What are some struggles you ran into? What are we dealing with this week, boys? Shoot.
Go ahead,
Who wants
Omar.
to start?
Oh, okay. So yeah, with me, it's just I pretty much got it down to tile. I'm ready for tile. I did the goal board, got everything up. Sheetrock is up. Did the first quote of compound and all the joints. Refreshing my taping compound skills. So that's what I'm doing this week. I start a tile. Hopefully, it's big tiles too. I didn't realize it's 6 by 12 subways, but the artisan subways where they're not flat. So that's gonna be really fun.
Oh.
Yeah, it's wavy. It's weird, but that's where I'm at right now. So hopefully, since this week, I should be able to at least get that. I gotta get the floor done. Add the Dietrich heat. I gotta close this up because you boys know I'm backed up.
But you're pretty booked up. What are you putting on the shower and inside the shower? Or the tub surround.
Subway tile.
Good deal.
Yeah, it's a weird. I guess you would call it artisan subway tile, where it's like wavy. It's not completely flat and perfect. It's got like that weird grooves on it. So they want a tan. They want the wood plank. These wood planks. You know what? Speaking of that, shout out to Tyler, the one that sent us the cutters,
Yeah.
tile cutters, because these are 6 by 39 or 36 planks,
Oh
and I
wow,
have
those are
nothing
big.
to rip that. Short of
Yeah.
bringing my table to rip it, which would be annoying because they'll probably end up snapping halfway through because they're so long. So I'm gonna get full use out of that cutter.
And I will say, I don't know if you had an opportunity yet. I spoke with him over at Tyler, and I told him, I said, I made a couple practice cuts on it just to kind of feel it out and stuff. And dude, it cuts smooth, really
this
smooth.
thing is massive, dude. I mean, I don't know which one you got. I got the 48-inch one.
Yeah, I think mine's the 26.
Yeah, this thing is like standing tall right next to me. It's perfect for what I needed because
Yeah.
I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna end up like next to the tub. I'm gonna need to rip 2 inches off, and to do that with a grinder, you're gonna snap the tile, guaranteed.
Yeah.
If you even do it on a table, I don't have like for instance, if you were used to use the rigid tile cutter, for example, that doesn't fit on that thing. To
Talking about
rip
the
it,
wet saw?
yeah.
It
So when
depends
you
on
pull
which
the
one you
table
have.
back, right? I have the Home Depot special one, so.
I've
So
got the
when
one
you
with
pull
the
it back,
spindle drops.
no. This one you pull it back, and it won't fit. Even a 24 fits like just perfect when the rollers start like moving around, so you won't get a straight cut.
What do you got? A 7-inch or a 10-inch, Omar?
I believe it's a 7. Yeah, the 7-inch one.
The Rigid. You have the 7-inch? All right.
7.
All right.
I don't use.
Yeah, no, I think Jeremiah, you were saying you have the one that has the drops, right?
Yeah, I have the 10-inch and the fence drop, so it's unlimited ripping essentially. So it comes in.
I've been thinking about getting that table. So
I'm gonna do a review on it. But
I want to get the table one. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's like a table saw.
Right. It's like literally like a Jimmy table, and it has the arm, and you gotta like run it through.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna lug a tile cutter, I think that one's the most optimal, if you want to say, because you can do everything.
Yeah. Are you talking about the bridge saw? Like the motors on top? Oh, dude, those are badass.
Right. I mean, they're a lot of money. But think about it. Like, you go through the problem of setting up a table, of bringing it to the job site, and you're gonna set up this tiny little thing that when you have to do a giant plunge cut in the middle, or if you have to rip a marble, anything that's weird, it gets challenging versus this giant table that you can literally slap it right in the middle.
Yeah.
And you're done. Easier cleanup too.
And I can tell you, I don't know about the Floor and Decker up in your area, but the Floor and Decker here in Charleston, they've got some pretty good deals on some of those.
They do. And what the hell's that brand?
Cortag?
No.
IQ?
No, it's not IQ.
Shoot, I wish they carried the IQ brand here.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. It's not the wall. Cobalt? No, not Cobalt.
No, it can't
Goldbat.
With a little battery operator?
Goldbat. Yeah.
Oh, yes, Goldbat. That brand. It's like $1,200 for that thing. Like it's but again, I'm trying to move into like the more custom, larger format tiles, if you want to say. I've never done a shower with anything bigger than 12 by 24 because it's just not the thing over here.
Yeah.
You know, it's mostly Subway because it's affordable. They're like, hey, it's only $600 in tiles versus whatever they want to do. But having that saw, I feel like if you're going to go through the hassle of setting up a saw, you might as well set up one that is so versatile that you have no issues. You can walk around it. You can do any kind of cuts. You can plunge it. You can do miters on it. With the other ones, I feel like even the DeWalt ones, like there's limitations to that. And also, moving a table through the saw versus the saw moving through the table gives you a more, I think, cleaner cut. Because the table, the rollers, you see people complain that the rollers get out of whack or they move a little bit.
Yeah.
They rattle
versus
too.
you have that saw. It runs on a rail that guarantees you that perfect cut.
Yeah, and what that will do actually is when the tray rattles, it chips. Actually, it'll chip the tile.
Right.
Yeah. Hold off on that purchase because the guys at Ensor Tile gave Donnie the contractor pricing, and they have saws that you can purchase through Ensor Tile. For I was looking through the list of the amount of the different saws. They have DeWalt, Ruby. I can't remember any other brands right now, but they were for like a big one. They have one of those big bridge saws. I think it was on there for like under $1,000, but I can't remember right now. I'll have to take a look at the paper again. But I mean, I'm pretty sure that's something you can probably order through them and have it shipped to you.
Right. Like I have the rigid small one, the table one that has the blade fixed on there. That's my Subway small backsplash job. It fits on a table, literally. So, and it's only like a quart of water that it uses. It's so minimal. So that's mostly the one I take to jobs because, again, I just hate the setup. You got to put a tarp. You got to protect the walls. You got to do.
Is that like a little tabletop one? Or are you?
Yeah, the rigid one. It was on sale for $79 on Black Friday. So it was real cheap.
Oh man, did you guys see that Cobalt battery operated one I recently posted?
I did. That's the size. It's the exact size that I have, but it's not battery operated. And batteries.
That little battery operated one by Cobalt, man. That was. I mean, I don't know who has Cobalt batteries around here, but it seemed like a good little buy though, man.
They just posted a PVC cover.
Yes, I saw that. So, yep.
I don't know, man. I'm so used to using the saws though to make my cuts that I don't having like a dedicated tool for cuts. To each their own, but I just find it to be a waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hold on, I gotta go get my saw. I gotta go get my you know.
I
But,
think
so
one
what about you,
of the
Danny?
good things to
Yeah.
invest in too is like one of those little canopy little tent things too, to be able to bring that
I
stuff
have that.
inside. Do you
Yeah.
really?
I have that. Yeah, I have. So
Wow.
you go to Costco or Sam's Club or whatever your store is that sells that stuff by large, and just get the camping tent. I mean the canopy. Mine's 9 by 15, I think.
Yeah.
So whenever you're at a job site, whether it's rain, whether it's snow, or it's just damn hot, pop that bad boy up, good to go.
Yeah.
But it depends where you're also working. Like
Yeah,
where
can't
I'm
you
at,
just
I
make one
can't.
out of like some go board or something?
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Just make one out of some go board.
I saw
It's
this guy.
waterproof, so if it rains, you're good to
I saw
go.
this
No, I know what you're talking about, the workstation.
I saw some there's some guy on TikTok that has some company called Wet Saw Workstation or something like that. I haven't really looked into it, but I think for some reason either he's liked some of my videos on TikTok or they've come across on my feed or something. But I mean it looks like he just kind of has this like kind of cubicle over his wet saw that's kind of made out of I don't know,
Oh,
like vinyl
that's
or something.
yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. He made a PVC frame and put plastic over it so that way any oversplash goes in there and it goes down into a bucket. I saw that
Mm,
one.
yeah.
So
Yes,
I mean that's if you're setting up
I don't know.
I guess because of what I do, I haven't encountered where I need to set up a full cut station per se. Like I'm doing a bathroom. You really don't need a cut station. You know,
Hmm.
most of the tiles you can do either with dry cutters or in a grinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have not used my wet sauce literally at all. It's just been grinder and either my 14, 26, or the new one. Those are my dry cutters that I'm going to use for the jobs. That's all I need. You
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
So what
Well,
about you,
what's
Donnie? What do you got going on?
so what's the week looking like for you?
For which one of us?
Who said that?
For you,
You.
Donnie. For Donnie.
For me,
Yeah.
it's really, I mean, you know, I spoke with you guys earlier, you know, about some of the things that's been going on for me. It's like the whole month of February, I've basically worked almost every single day, including the weekends. So February was like one job lined up doing some LVP for a customer, and then it was completely slammed full of work, you know. So right now it's kind of like downtime. So kind of just looking at probably about 4 or 5 projects right now, looking at one included with, you know, Harry, and trying to get all the details sorted out for all those projects and things like that, and getting those lined up to start working on those. I got one of them lined up to start on Wednesday next week. So start getting those lined up and start getting filled out before coverings.
Yeah. I bet that's very convenient for you guys. The fact that you guys are like so close, you can be like the dynamic duo. You can call on each other whenever it's needed. You know, that's pretty convenient and awesome, especially since you guys both have a similar skill set.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
And I mean,
awesome.
that's a nice
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like when Harry had called me about these showers that we went and looked at the other day, I mean, I was like, man, this is awesome. You know, like to be able to kind of coordinate something. It's 2 bathrooms, you know, a tub surround, and then a massive shower. I mean, they're looking to do tile on the ceilings and do a waterfall from the ceiling. And there's a lot of stuff that's got to be done to get this project done. But ideally, I look at it like, man, it's 2 of us doing it. Once we get started, you know, one of us can tackle the shower and then the other one could tackle the bathroom, and kind of just try to get 2 birds, 1 stone, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had that right now because like I have 3 or 4 bathrooms, just tile work, like just strictly tile work. They're already ready to go. And they're like, we need to move into the house. I'm like, all right, I can't get to you until July or June, the earliest, for me to take time off.
Damn.
So I'm trying to connect with Jose from JC Tile. I'm like, yo, you got anybody that's decent? Send them my way. I need to plug all this because the momentum starts to grow. You know, you guys are gonna hit that too. Momentum where it's like, all right, well, job after job after job, and then you're gonna start getting like scared. You're like, oh my God, I can't get to these things. You know?
And I want to give a shout out too to Sika, because me and Harry, we recently met with the vendor here at Emser Tile with Sika, and you know, he gave us some samples of some different thin sets, things like that to use. And you know, he actually reached out to me the other day and was like, "Hey, are you guys looking to use our materials on this project that you shared with everybody on social media the other day?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. You know, if you recommend that it's a good product to use for showers or in wet areas, then for sure." So, you know, he said he's going to make a trip out there with us and stuff like that to kind of see how everything's going with using their materials. But it's going to be a fun project to do with Harry, and, you know, some new materials to use for that as well.
I believe Sika is going to be at Coverings. I think when I was looking through
they are.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
I actually didn't know they made
guys?
thin sets. I just knew them as the concrete people. You know, they just did concrete products and caulking.
Are
And
they looking?
I didn't know.
Are they looking to sponsor the bathroom? Or
So, from my understanding, the guy that we've talked to, I think his name is Steven. Right,
Steven,
Harry?
yeah.
His name's Steven. Yeah. So he told me,
Steven,
you know, I told him, I said, you know, if we're going to use these products for the bathroom, I said, we're all about trying them out and using it on these bathrooms. And he actually sent me a picture of a bathroom that he just finished up doing. And he said he used the 475, which is something that he gave to both of us. He said he just finished a bathroom, sent me a picture of it. It looks awesome. And I was like, yeah, you know, when we're doing this project, if you want to come and swing by and kind of like get some content or whatever you want to do, he was like, absolutely, you know, I'll come in there, I'll get some content for you guys, I'll get some content for Sika, and, you know, we'll all be happy. So
yeah, I mean that's the only reason I asked is because like I'm still waiting for Hydro Block was supposed to quote unquote sponsor one of my bathrooms. Haven't heard anything since, but whatever. Because I was interested in them because they have a similar to like Gold Board system, but they have a complete system. You know, shower pan, walls, the whole works. Kind of like a Weedy, but you know, they're
I was
all
saying, because isn't
Would you
theirs
say
like
Hydro Block?
similar colorways to the Weedy
Hydro Block.
stuff?
It's comparable to the Weedy stuff. I personally never held it because apparently I think the boards are made out of different, like kind of like cement cover on the outside with the foam on the inside. It's a weird thing. But
So do you still have to waterproof it if it's cement on the outside?
No, it's I believe, or unless I'm getting them confused with somebody. I think I'm getting confused with RSS. No, these are just foam boards. I saw what's his name from Canada. iTile Toronto. He used it. He was the first one that I saw that used it. Did a whole bathroom on it. He did the box that I've always wanted to do. Just take a couple boards, and he used nothing else other than caulking to put the box together, and then let it water sit there for like days, and it was still holding. I don't know if you ever seen the video. It's good, check it out.
And I will say too that when me and Harry went over to Emser Tile, we were looking at some of the stuff in the showroom, and they actually had like it's, I don't know, a foot by a foot little display of the shower system that they supply there. And I don't know if Harry remembers the name of the brand. I've never heard of it, but it's just
Impervious.
What is it called?
It looks just like
Impervious.
Yeah, it's just like the ERS board or the Sentinel board that they sell at Flora and Decor. It's just like that that foam with the webbed type of
it's got like the fiber mesh stuff on the outside,
Sentinel,
but it's cement based, and it's already waterproof. You know, kind of like the Hydro Block stuff, and it's got the foam in the middle of it.
Wow. Yeah. So one thing I noticed. I mean, one thing that I could tell in the difference, like their product definitely has like a more sturdier layer of like cement on the outside compared to like KBRS board. Like you can still stick your fingernail through KBRS board, but this impervious stuff that I think it's called impervious. You have to look it up, but you can't really put your fingernail through that. Like it's pretty hard. Like it's a much harder, sturdier board. It's still just as light because it's foam on the inside, but the outside layer on both sides is definitely a stronger, more more solid surface.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a hybrid board. That's interesting.
Yeah,
I guess that's Emser Tiles. That's their own.
Home Depot has
that's their own brand.
And I've actually used the one
their own what
before.
Waterproofing system.
Whole shower system.
What's they called?
Home Depot carries a whole system for it, and I've actually used the wall boards from Home Depot before.
How are they?
I mean, it's definitely thicker, like what Harry was saying. It was definitely thicker than using the KBRS boards. I liked it. They were already waterproofed, just as light as the Go boards. I mean, it was a good product for me.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing with
Interesting. I didn't know that.
XPS. That's what it's called.
XPS. Yeah.
Because the washers that they sell are the same ones for the Go board. The washers and the screws, same with the curtain.
Yeah.
And they get called ceramic coated screws, which AKA is deck screws.
Yeah.
So if you don't have screws, just go get deck screws or exterior grade screws.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So I was debating that because that's the thing too. When I'm building mine, you see me use the shim kits, and when you shim them out, the 1 5/8 are no longer good enough. So you got to get 2-inch screws to get through the shims, depending on how much you shim. With a normal standard shower, I don't shim as much because we're not worrying about a tub flange. But with a tub, you have the tub flange that you have to overlap. So that's already 1/4 of an inch just to overlap the flange. And then you got to add to, make sure it's plumb. So by the time you get up there, it's like 3/4 of an inch off. So it's a lot, So using those screws is good. So I get the washers from Home Depot. Get the kits, $40, I think, and it comes with screws and washers. And then I just go get 2-inch deck screws, and that's what I use. That's what I used in this last bathroom, and it worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
But I want to see those boards because if Home Depot has them, if they're comparable to Go board, might be something to look into.
Donnie covered a lot of what happened last week for me as well. Besides that bathroom that we went to go check out, waiting on more details on that and materials. I guess the size of tile we're still kind of waiting on. Then we both met the guys from Sika. I actually spoke to Trapper John. I think, do you guys all follow Trapper John, or do you guys know who that is on Instagram? No. He's so Steven actually, so Trapper John was the first one that I spoke to. He's like a national rep for Sika. He's like all over this and all over the country. I had reached out to him originally, and then we started kind of getting into the conversation because they were at a demo at the Emser Tile here where we found out about all of this. They were doing a demo, so I just reached out to him and I said, "Hey man, how do you find out about these demos and things like that?" And he's like, "Well, I work for Sika Tile, and they're starting to carry our products now." So he put me in contact with their new regional sales rep, who's Steven, and he told me how to go about getting, on the list for whenever they do those demos, so you can be involved and be there. And that was all pretty cool. I mean, when we went down to the Emser Tile and got all those products, man, it was just it was a pretty dope showroom. You guys know me and Donnie had talked about showrooms for a good amount now, so it was kind of pretty very nice showroom. I can't even say pretty nice. It was freaking dope. But yeah, other than meeting with those guys down there at Emser Tile and waiting on details from that bathroom, this coming up week, I'm going out to do an estimate tomorrow, and I have to speak with the guy who has that regrouting situation. He agreed to sign a waiver, and we're gonna go at it that way. So I'm not actually gonna do the regrouting. I'm gonna have those guys that I know do the regrouting, and other than that, that's about it, man. I gotta see this estimate I have to go do though, man. It's for flooring, but she was explaining to me this job that she has, and she was talking about all these doors that she wants to like make wider. But I was trying to get an idea of what exactly we're dealing with, and when she was talking to me, man, it just kind of made me feel like her house is a fun house. So it was just too many doorways. So you know what? Let's just I'll just go down there on Monday and I'll take a look at the job and I'll get you an estimate that way, because she was just confusing the hell out of me with the door situation. So
yeah, but you also wrapped up some LVP.
Other than that, Oh yeah, I did. I had to do the
Yeah.
LVP in my own house this week, man. Yeah, it was nothing I actually enjoyed doing, but it had to be done, man.
And you got
It came
paid
out
to
good
do
though,
it
man.
for that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, luckily my landlord is as cheap as they are, man. They picked some decent flooring. It wasn't like chipping on me. It was decent to install, and yeah, it came out really good, man. The floors look good. Can't complain about that. I mean, I did the work, so. But yeah, man. Other than that, just like Donnie said, man, just trying to make sure we get some a good enough amount of work lined up, man, before coverings, and make sure we get back from coverings, maybe fall into some more work. So
Yeah.
that's the
Now,
goal,
do
man.
you on the downtime? Do you guys do maintenance and cleanup on all your tools?
Oh, I've already cleaned my stuff up, brother.
Yeah,
You gotta do that between jobs, man, or at least when you
yeah,
got
man.
time.
I actually, yeah, I did that this week as
Right?
well, man. I
No,
don't
what
really
I
have
what
so
I
many
do,
tools that
I'm
require maintenance, but at least just organizing.
well, like for me, it's restocking. I have everything since I'm a one-man show, so I have to
Yeah.
restock PVC, screws,
Mm,
silicones, caulkings, gold board sealants, gold board screws, since I have to run and
gotcha.
get them. You know, I have to
Gotta clean the
restock
truck
all of
out.
that. Clean. So, well, the truck stays pretty clean. It's just
Yeah.
like now I'm actually starting to use my pack out system. I was like,
Mhm.
so if I bring it on the
Hey, I got a
cart,
recording
like I
error
have
on my
my
screen.
Yeah, you're good.
yeah. So I
I just got a
bring
recording
my
error on my screen. I just wasn't sure if that's all right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You should. Yeah.
so it's you know, bring in the pack out dolly, if you want to say. The bottom one's gonna have my nail gun, my framing gun, because like to sister this bathroom, I wasn't gonna do wedges on the entire wall. It would have taken 2 boxes worth of space wedges to do this whole thing. So I just sistered it. Fastest, easiest, bang, bang, bang. But I'm gonna start doing that from now on when I have a job, is get all my pack out stuff in the back, get to the job site, and like this bathroom's pretty big where I'm working, so I can put all my stuff in one corner, not constantly have to go in and out of the truck. So little by little, I'm going more towards the red side. So I'm sponsoring BP's kids' colleges as I buy all these tools.
Oh,
So
very nice.
they like that. Too bad
So
Milwaukee doesn't sponsor us, though. Be nice.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So something I wanted to touch on, Harry. It was super interesting when you
What
were
just happened?
mentioning it. Is that self-adhering mat that you're talking about? I'm under the impression that's an uncoupling membrane for tile. I mean, you can't use it in wet areas per se, or at least as like shower walls. But when you're explaining it, it seemed like it was super
Um,
interesting to me.
it's supposed it's for crack isolation and sound dampening.
Okay.
That's like what they kind of advertise it as. It's you can't use it in it's not recommended for walls. It's for floors.
And
I
that's a
don't know if they
Sika
have an
product.
I didn't see an uncoupling membrane like an actual.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a Sika
Man, you make
product.
me want to
From
run
my
back to
understanding,
and take a look.
yeah, my understanding of what it is it's basically just like a mat to put on the floor for a crack isolation. So instead of spreading like a topical spread crack isolation on the floor, this takes the place of that, and it's just a sticky mat that you can lay down and you can tile over it. They also make a
Hmm.
topical waterproofing as well, and a topical, crack isolation
Huh.
So
bucket.
that's in the
But
future.
the mat, yeah, the mat is, I
Yeah.
mean, ideally, like, if you're doing like a patio or an outdoor area or whatever, if it's on a concrete slab, you could slap that membrane down instead of having to roll on all that topical stuff.
So does it resemble more of a sheet membrane, or is
Right.
it more of an uncoupling membrane? Because you keep referring to it as a mat, and when I think of mat, I think of an uncoupling membrane.
No, it's literally like I mean, it's like
It's
a
like
mat.
it
There's
says
no
it's like
uncoupling to it.
it
Oh, I think we lost Harry.
No, it's very thin. I mean, it's just got a layer on the back of it for you to peel off. I think it's got like a layer on the back of it. You could peel it off, and then you lay down. It's got the tacky stuff. You lay the tacky stuff down on, you know, whatever your surface is, and it's just a flat surface mat. It doesn't have any of like the little grooves or anything like that for an uncoupling membrane. It's just a membrane for crack isolation, I believe.
Oh, so it doesn't have mechanical. It wouldn't be a mechanical bond then.
Basically,
that's what those grooves.
I mean, I don't. I mean, yeah, I don't know how firm it holds to a substrate, but it'd be interesting to see how it turns out.
I can cut out a couple pieces for you guys and mail them out to you guys like Guru did.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, no,
actually,
yeah, that would be cool.
Interesting.
I saw BJ Thailand. He's using the Ditra heat that you peel and stick in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I like to see how A holds up, and B, I want to see somebody demo that thing. Must be a nightmare to
yeah.
Like it's bad as
like
take this membrane off.
Yeah, well, they do have like pressure sensitive adhesives, kind of like the VCT tile adhesive, or not tile adhesive, like a vinyl tile adhesive, where when you apply pressure to it, it activates the adhesive. So I'm wondering if they've kind of incorporated that into the mat. But like I said, I didn't learn about this until Harry mentioned it. I thought it was kind of like mind-boggling when he said there's a self-adhering mat. Assuming that the adhesive is actually good, that does save some time. That saves some mixing time. You can lay it down and roll it flat and call it a day.
Yeah.
Well, that's creating havoc on the interwebs, because when he posted that self-stick Ditra, it was like, oh, this is garbage. It ain't gonna hold. Like, there's gonna be people that are gonna make mistakes with this thing, because I guarantee you they're not going to clean the top floor. They're not gonna have to mop the floor, and then when they stick this thing, it picks up all the dust. Like,
and I saw a video of somebody. I don't remember who it was, but I saw a video of somebody putting down that peel and stick Ditra, and after they had laid it down, they tried to pull it back up off the floor, and it wasn't moving at all.
Yeah, it was him. It's the guy from, I think
that thing tears up the floor. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, you have to be clean. Like this could, like if the drywallers were there the day before and you go to put this thing down, it's not.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna fail. It's going.
Yeah, I guess you got a point there.
Even Thinset fails on that. I end up mopping my floors after sanding. Literally, like get a cheap bucket mop and mop the floors.
I do the sponge. I'll just start scrubbing until I see like the plywood. Because even dirt, you get dirt sometimes from your feet and everything in there. I just start scrubbing.
Yeah, I use the Home Depot sells that spinning mop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just bring it to the job site. You mop real quick. It's got the disposable head, so you're not dealing with ruining your sponges. Because I mean, right now I have a sponge that's about yay big left from all the jobs.
Oh, I've got the same thing. I've got two of those. One you can like wring out with the little lever. Yeah.
Yeah. So that resourcefulness. You got to be resourceful when it comes to all this stuff. Like I was talking with you with the brushes. I get the toilet scrubbers. It's got the nice little angle on it, and I trim the hairs so that there's only 2 rows of bristles. It's perfectly in the grout line. It cleans it nice. Not having to sit there with a knife scraping afterwards. Just a pain in the ass. But yeah, that's. But I'm interested to see. I mean, coverings. I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. So, I mean, meeting all the people that we like interact on a daily basis is gonna be kind of like interesting. I'm curious to see if anyone recognizes us. That's one thing I want to see. And dudes from the podcast.
Yeah. And for that matter, it'd be the first time that we'd actually all see each other in person. I mean, we talk to each other almost on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm looking forward to too, because we've kind of developed this bond, and we've shared this information that we've all greatly benefited from. And to kind of see each other in person, I think that'd be awesome. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Like, think about that. We built a bond down to creating a podcast.
Yeah.
And not only that,
guys, just so you know, I'm a hugger.
Yeah. Not only that, we're gonna be staying in the same house with each other.
Yeah. Right. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, just the thought, because they're gonna see us. They're like, oh, you guys used to hang out together. Like, nope, this is the first time.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Yeah, this is the first time we're meeting. It's like, how? Don't worry.
And I mean, I think coverings for me is gonna be a little. I guess I would say starstruck. I mean, and it's not like people are celebrities,
Yeah.
but when you see people within the industry that are doing very well and they're going to be here at this event, and it's like, holy crap, I'm actually meeting this person. I mean, hell, I mean, even you guys, I mean, obviously me and Harry know each other on a personal basis, but like even meeting you guys on a personal level is like, I can't believe I'm actually meeting this person in real life.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
getting to
That's
meet
like
these
meeting.
people,
That's like me and the kid you've been gaming with for so long.
Yeah,
I know,
which
right? You
has
finally
happened
meet
to
'em.
me. I'm an avid gamer, and I've met. I mean, I've gamed with 20 people, and I've met these people, and I've been gaming with them since I was like 14. So it's crazy to to see that. But
But see,
yeah,
that's the power of the internet, man. That a lot of people
Yeah.
are not capitalizing on it is the networking that you can do with this thing. You know,
yeah,
the connections that you can do. You can build
Absolutely, yeah,
businesses
man.
across
That's
the
what I'm looking
world.
forward to the most, man. Hell yeah, yeah,
You know,
man.
like for instance, if we all get into real estate, we can literally conquer more of the United States because we're in different locations,
yeah.
but yet we're
Yeah.
still one,
Yeah,
And it's
which is
amazing
wild.
without the internet. I mean, we wouldn't have the podcast. Like I
Yeah.
said, the fact that we've developed such a bond just
right,
virtually,
right.
essentially. But I mean, it's getting to the point where we have inside jokes on each other. We know each other's, daily life. We know what's going on in each other's business. I mean, we know what's going on
Kids,
sometimes in
everything.
each other's personal life. I mean, it's very interesting the
Yeah,
fact that we've gone from not really knowing each other that much to to the kind of relationship and bond that we have now.
To where it's
So
almost
it's
like we've known each other for a while.
And you know
yeah.
what's crazy? How did it start?
Say again.
I
How
was
did
just
it
about
all
to
start? I don't
ask
remember.
how. So who made the first? Where
Who made
was
the
it?
first
Where was
move?
the first? Because when I first, okay, so Donnie told me about the Discord, but I already knew Omar, and we had discussed a couple of times on Instagram. I had
Oh, this
absolutely
was a
no
while
idea
back.
about
Yeah.
Jeremiah, but I think I did see a live where you and Omar were on together. But
Yes.
how the how the how the fuck did it happen?
So
So
The
this is the
power
weird
of social
timeline.
media.
This is the weird timeline. So I spoke with Harry before I even had any followers. Like
really,
really, like way back before he left Connecticut.
Oh wow.
Wow!
wow.
Yeah, because that was the last time we
Before I
talked.
left
So I
Connecticut,
reached. Yeah, I came across the
holy
CNB.
shit, dude!
Yeah, it's been that long. Because I remember you're like,
Wow!
yeah, when I get back up to Connecticut,
Wow!
I just left. Because I've been doing this what 3 years now. Yeah, so three plus years. So I remember that I had reached out to you. You were like, oh, because my father-in-law has an apartment building in New Haven.
Oh yes,
I was like, oh, you know
in
anybody
in
in
New Haven.
Connecticut?
Yes,
Check
yes,
them out.
yes. Yeah.
So I reached out to him, and I also saw him post something on Instagram, and that's how I reached out to him. I was like, oh, you're from Connecticut? Oh, that's how it was. Future Trades, and they were like, who's from Connecticut? And you responded. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I messaged him.
Yeah.
And I was in Home Depot, and I remember
There
I was
you
like, "Yo,
go.
I'm from Connecticut. I got a lot of work." I was telling Harry, I was like, "Yo, I got work, bro. So if you're ready, let's go." I've been doing that since like the first day I met you. And
I
with
think I was
Jeremiah
actually
was
in Connecticut for at the time. Was I actually in Connecticut at
yes,
that time?
yes,
For when
yes.
my girl's dad passed away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow.
You
Damn.
what
Okay.
job
Yeah.
were you? What job were you? No, you were doing. When I talked to you, you were doing the porch job where they try to play games with you on the pavement. You built that deck, the stairs, the whole permit situation. Remember, they wanted you to pull a
Oh,
permit.
that was over the summer. Ah, yes,
Right.
yes, yes,
So
yes.
before that,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
even before that, we've been talking.
Wow.
So, but it was just random. Like I just
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
him, and he was having a hard time, and I reached out to him, and I was like, "Yo, how can I help you?" Because I'm
Yeah.
constantly trying to help people for some reason, and just a random reason. And I was like, "Yo, so do this, do that," and I gave him some insight. He's like, "You know what? You're right." He's like, "What am I doing?" You know what I mean? Like, he's like, "What am I doing?" Because you were like, "Oh, I'll take whatever." I'm like, "No, no, no. You're owed your money. You did the job. I mean." Granted, everybody knew
Yeah.
what the party was doing. It's not like it was a secret. So you knew what you were doing. You
Yeah,
knew what you
yeah,
were getting. So to play these games of not paying you, like I was like, no, stick to your guns and get your money, because otherwise, tear it up. It's your
yeah,
material, And then
yeah,
Jeremiah
yeah.
was the live video. I think I did a live and he jumped on and he's like, he wanted to join or something. And I was like, hey, what the hell? Quick, just randomly. And that's how
Now that's
Jeremiah
how I
met
met you. I just randomly joined, and I think I met you through Misha from Winnie Designs. Either you went on live with him,
Yes.
or like vice versa. Because I went live with Misha before, and I text Misha as well. But
It might have been
that's
when I was at a pole soup spot and he had a live and I jumped on and Dimitri was on there too.
yes,
And
because
because we were all
because
like, oh, it's Dimitri.
Oh, I
Like,
remember that actually. Yeah, yeah.
oh, actually, that might have been why. Because I was mainly searching for people in North Carolina. I found Dimitri, and of course, I learned about Harry through Donnie, and I learned about Donnie through Omar. And it might have been either Misha or now that I think about it, might have been Dimitri as well, because I'm very big on trying to find contractors that are in North Carolina because it kind of hits home. I can network even if they're not close to me. The fact that I can build a network and know who's in my area, especially from an influencer perspective, I guess it's kind of an encouragement, and it kind of lets me know, okay, well, what are they facing similar things, supply chain issues, blah 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 blah. But
there's
yeah, I
another
just
guy
joined
from
Omar's live.
but anyway, so what do you got going on, Jeremiah?
Yeah, you were probably hitting them from the wrong side, Omar.
Yeah. So for me, I kind of got a little bit of a break. I'm in between jobs. The last job didn't take as long as I thought, so I kind of have this space where I can more focus on the business side of things. Catch up, clean out my truck, clean out my shed. Clean up the tools, kind of gets ready for the next run of jobs. But it looks like I have not a full bathroom install. I got a vanity install. Get that all set up. Get some backsplashes up in that area. And that's simple and easy to do. Biggest thing is I have 2 bathrooms that are new construction. I actually get to tear out the old vinyl liner, and I get to use the flow effects drains for the first time twice. It'll be the first time for that. And then I have the first time for the Guru G Flex. I've never used the G Flex before. I've used uncoupling membranes,
You're
but
gonna
not the
love
G
it.
Flex.
You're gonna
So
love it.
I've got the red carpet.
Yeah.
So, and then of course,
Appreciate that.
yes. And then of course I've got the I'm going to do a mud bed and do the Guru shower system on the floor, probably do HydroBand on the walls. I've got both a stand-up shower and a tub surround, and then another tub surround. And then for the same customer, I have, I have 2 more bathrooms actually, that potentially 3 actually. But right now I'm just doing these 2. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's something that like I said, I really like tile. I really like working on bathrooms. So whenever I get a bathroom, it's like I get super jittery.
Exciting.
Yeah, you get the jitters. And now I get a stand-up shower and a tub surround in one bathroom. So it's like I get the tile twice. It's
There you go.
it's a fun process. But
Now, did you land these bathrooms with the new system that we developed as far as like acquiring jobs and estimates and all that stuff?
Yeah, so definitely I will have to say, taking little bits of everybody's information, and then kind of the business process side of things, comes from you a bit, Omar, where I've kind of created a hybrid. And I think that's what's nice is we all can take bits and pieces of each other's method and tailor it so it works for us, because not everything works for everybody. And so that's definitely worked out for me. It's made things a little more smoother. This job I actually quoted a long time ago, and looking back on it now, I severely underbid that job. So now that I've kind of matured as a business, I'm realizing that wow, I was doing these 2 bathrooms for the price of 1. So I've kind of adjusted myself. And the guy, I know the guy personally on my weekend job. He did all the foundation work for the in-law suite that I designed and I've been building for the past year or so, just exclusively on the weekends. And he's seen my work, and he always checks up on the property, and he's like, wow, you do really good tile work. He's like, I'm building a house. I want you to do all the tile work in the house. So he's like, no questions asked. We got to the point where I went in there and he's like, yeah, I had a quote from 2 other tile guys. One seemed okay. One was kind of sketchy, but I haven't seen their work in person. And he's like, I've talked with you. I can understand your knowledge of work. And he's like, and I've seen your work. So he's like, I'd much rather hire you and just call it a day. To the point where when I actually brought my contract to him, he barely looked at the price. He was like, yep, where do I sign? And then just signed off, man. It's nice.
Now, was that a confidence boost to see? Well, because knowledge put to practice is where it gets scary. You can have all the knowledge all day long. We have it at our fingertips, but applying the knowledge and actually seeing the fruition of it. You know what I mean? That's where you're like, this works.
Yeah, the fruits of your labor, man. And I'd say, and everybody here can probably attest to that. Is we're talking to this like pricing method and how to approach customers, and I'm a pretty confident, outgoing guy. I don't have a problem talking with people, but even going with the method that I've now adapted to, it's kind of like I don't know how I feel about that, right? But now that I put into practice, because it's just like anything in life, the worst they can say is no. And then from there, maybe reevaluate my approach or just, go to a new customer, right? All they can say is no. And, it worked. And it was kind of like, wow. And this actually happened twice in a row. These 2 jobs, almost happened back to back. So it's just like, wow. Okay. So, the only thing that was limiting this method and making this method not work was me, my confidence. If I go in with the confidence of pitching this job and saying, hey, this is my process, and there's no compromise on it, then all of a sudden it's okay. Well, let me get my stuff together. Let's get ready. Let's get under contract. Let's get this down and ready to go. So,
right. I mean, the confidence goes hand in hand because you could be a very knowledgeable guy. You could do amazing work. But if you go to a customer, you come in nervous and not confident, they're going to see that as a negative to the point where they're like, I don't think this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Versus somebody that comes in who has the knowledge, who's confident in his own work and is willing to back it up. So that alone can put you ahead of other people because they're like, okay, this guy's confident, yet he's younger, but he's got the confidence of a veteran. And as long as you can back up your work, and like you said, they've seen your work, so they know what you're about. But I've met guys that were like so nervous and they can't talk to people or they can't articulate money talk. You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, this is how I can do things, but how can I tell somebody this is how much I need to get paid for what I do?
Yeah. And the fact that talking money, talking money is an uncomfortable topic sometimes. And I still come with that approach where it's like, all right, listen, they can say no, and that's it, so what, if it becomes a reoccurring issue, then it's like, okay, maybe I need to readjust my approach, maybe readjust my pricing. But now I've done enough experimenting, or I should say I've done enough experimenting where I've got a much closer grasp of what I can say and what I can charge. So, and now I don't have a problem talking with pricing. It's just like, hey, this is it. And I just kind of sit there and let them hesitate, right? Because if I hesitate, especially at my age, like you said, I'm younger, I'm 21. When you have a 21-year-old running in saying, hey, I'm going to tear out your bathroom and I'm going to charge you this amount to do it, sometimes it's a sticker shock for people and they kind of have second guesses. So luckily with the beard, I get away with it.
Right. That also goes to like advertisement, like people can take you for your word, but if they go and see, that's why I'm like so big on like build your page around your actual work. Don't buy, I see a lot of pages that have stock photos from Google. And like, how do I know that guy's good? Like, yeah, it looks great, but like actual pictures of your work, videos, Instagram is huge because they see you doing it basically live. So they almost feel like they're part of the journey, even though they're not there with you, tiling and cutting this thing up.
Yeah.
How about you?
And I'm not gonna throw any names out there, but there's a company I was doing some work for, and they're really big on the social media presence and trying to market things. But a lot of the content that they put out to market their brand, they're using just traditional photos that you could just find off the internet.
Right.
And to kind of touch on that too, like So for me, I have a cabinet distributor I work with. They make really good cabinets. They assemble them pretty well. And, you know, my rep tells me, he's like, hey, any photos you see on the website are royalty free. You're allowed to use it as a distributor. But I kind of have a thing against it because it feels like I'm false advertising my own work. Right. So, you know, that's not my work. Yes, these are the cabinets that I'm offering, but I didn't install this. So I kind of feel like I'm lying to my customers, even if it is more or less the quality I would offer. You know, it doesn't sit right. You know, my moral compass doesn't settle on that very well. You know, it's just not something that sits well with me.
But that
that's
goes
kind of
with
what Chase was
anything.
talking about too, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if there's another brand or another company that you have, you know, full faith in that's going to do, you know, the right thing, essentially based off what you would want for yourself, and you rely on them to say, like you said, put in a vanity cabinets or whatever it may be,
mm-hmm.
they're going to get the same quality of work because you're vouching for that person.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, product has to a point, it's gonna be like, yeah, you could use the best product, just like you could use a Ferrari, but if you don't know how to drive it, the end result is gonna be bad. You know what I mean? You know, how many scooters, how many Detras have you seen that were horrifically installed, and yet it's still a simple, reliable system. You know,
floating
and
Detra.
you know, like Detra or even anything else. So that's why it's mostly the installer because. You know, I know there's another guy in Texas. He does amazing work. You look at his tile work is amazing, but he uses cement board with RedGuard. It works for him. Maybe that's what he can get around there, and it works for his system. But it's application by application. Like if you have like the bathroom that I'm doing, the floor is dead perfect. I mean, I don't have to level anything. So if I was building a shower, this would definitely be a foam pan installation because no leveling, no self level, nothing. I mean, the guy put a trapdoor for the valves. That's how accessible this bathroom is. So that would be a dream shower to make. Unfortunately, it was a tub. But
I remember
shower
you
when they drop
calling
it.
me about that.
Oh, the guy put
He's like, I
everything.
want to kiss the builder, man. He made everything so easy.
Everything. Aside from the 2x4s, there were like one 2x4 goes like this, and at the end it was like I was facing the 2.5, the 3.5 inch side instead of the 1.5 side.
Yeah, sometimes you got to build a Home Depot lumber. All right, man. It's, you know, airplane propellers.
See, I was gonna assist her with 2x3s. There was not one straight 2x3s there. I was forced to use 2x4s.
Yeah.
The 2x3s were horrific. So, but that's just how it went. How about you, Eric?
How about me? What?
Harry? Anything you take out of that? Anything that you have applied
Y'all hear
that's
me?
helped you
Yeah, we
land
can
more
hear you.
jobs?
Well, yeah, actually, one thing that I could say when Jeremiah was talking, as far as building confidence, like I don't know what I was. Well, okay, something that I've been doing differently is just kind of asking questions and letting the customer talk. Like not so much like we've spoken in the past about like you got to learn to sell yourself and things like that. And in the past, like I've always been like I didn't want to oversell myself and sound salesy, but I noticed that if I just ask questions and let the customers talk, I'm able to just kind of gather more information and understand how I'm able to provide a solution for their problem. So that's one thing that I've noticed when just having those conversations with customers is like just something that I noticed has been working for me is just kind of asking more questions. I guess more you could say more of the right questions as well, but just kind of asking questions and letting the customer just kind of give you that feedback and understand like, okay, well, why is it that you want to get your bathroom done? Or like for instance, the guy with the regrouting. You asked me when we spoke about it. We all spoke about it as a group. You said, "Well, ask him, is he in love with the tile?" And when I did ask him, he wasn't in love with the tile. He was like, "I mean, I wouldn't mind new tile in there, but I don't want to spend $3,000 on a shower floor." You know, So he that guy. He's totally fine with paying $1,700 to get his bathroom shower regrouted, but he just maybe I don't know. He didn't want to. He didn't want to pay an extra $1,200 to get the bathroom redone. He just wants it to be kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't say putting a Band-Aid on it, but it's kind of
just presentable.
A temporary fix.
I don't know. Just
a temporary fix to a bigger problem. But you
yeah,
you would have never known to ask that question before, because like you'll see one day that question will change a job because maybe they're afraid to ask that question too.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah,
they're the ones
yeah.
that don't want to, like, because sometimes they, you go there with the intent to scramble all their ideas and put them in a timeline with reality. Because they go there and it's like, I want this, but I want that, but I want this, but I want that. It's like, okay. So, okay, this is what's going to work for you. These are my suggestions. This is what I think will benefit what you want. And you kind of guide them into the right direction, but also have them included in it. Pick your tile, pick your finish, Because I don't know how,
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
there are people out there that do everything, but I don't know how that would work with me. Because I always try to include their opinion somehow. Like, you're going to pick your vanity, the color, the finish, the drawer. You want, some people want the floating one, some people want side drawers. So, I don't know. I've never done with a build like a designer. I don't know if you guys ever done that with a designer, that they take care of all that stuff.
Yeah. So I haven't worked with the designer.
Yeah, actually, man, that was real stressful.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So like I haven't worked with the designer, but when it comes to cabinets and stuff, I have my cabinet distributor. I have countertops. Like over here on the edge of my desk, I have a bunch of common and very popular countertop samples. And when I get to that point where we're at the planning stage, I bring a little tote over, right? I've got a binder with all my plumbing fixtures. I've got a binder with all the cabinets that I offer. I bring all my samples. I bring Schluter finishes, like sample jollies. I have a board that shows all the cabinet hardware that I offer, as well as a pamphlet. I've got magazines from my distributor. So I kind of sit down with the customer and I just plan with them. I was like, okay, you want shaker cabinets? All right, cool. I've got these colors. Any of these colors interest you? They're like, yeah. And they're like, but then they go, okay, I want a floating vanity. I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll go to this page. They have this floating vanity and this different sizes. They're like, well, I want it like 6 inches bigger. I'm like, all right, well, we can add a drawer or we can add filler. I make an effort to kind of sit down and really design and, make my customers, image in their mind come to life. Right. So, they might be trying to explain something to me and I might be thinking something completely different. So if I can get their idea down and then get it on a rendering, so I kind of serve as my own designer because I offer renderings for my remodels, then we're on the same page. And that also saves a headache later on where they go, this is not at all what I was thinking, right? So it's just, some customers need guidance towards something.
Right. And I mean, that's where most of my jobs have been, where I tell them, okay, do you have an idea what do you want? They're like, because I've had people where like, I just want everything new. I'm like, okay, but like, how? There's a million ways we can go about this. So, I normally try to let them choose their stuff, and I will offer to meet them at Floor and Decor, and I try to meet them there, and like we'll go through some tiles, and I'll say, okay, stay away from like, again, natural stone on the floor. I had one bathroom I'm doing next. They had granite, like these very unfinished tiles, and I'm like, these are gonna soak up water like no other. You're gonna have to maintain them. You gotta, use the impregnator, and I'm pretty sure that's a maintenance thing. Every year you have to reseal those. That's natural stone, and also the color change. We have hard water that will start to color, like if the shower shuts off in a certain way, it's going to have that little trail, and you're going to see it over time, same trail. So I try to let them pick kind of what they want in there. I will suggest like, okay, Delta, Kohler, American Standard, stay within this realm. Do not buy Amazon, knock off brands that look really cool, but You know, as soon as you buy it, they take it off the shelf, and then you're stuck with a faucet that has no repair parts. So, but that's how I go about it. As far as help, I don't have rendering skills yet.
Okay. And a lot of the times you'll find that the customers, they're almost, I mean, clueless, really. I mean,
to an extent, yeah. I mean, to an extent,
they have no idea. They just think tile is tile. They don't know that there's different variations of tile or different materials.
Well, that
and
like the money too is, you know, most people that go in there, they're like thinking pre-pandemic levels. Some of the ones that I meet, they're like, "Oh, it's going to be this much." I'm like, "No." Things have gone up.
Oh yeah, they go in there thinking that.
Yeah. So, and I don't think that they're clueless. I just think they don't know any better. They're kind of naive to the industry and the material, right? So, you know, a lot of people, what they do is they pick up their phone and they go, "How much for a bathroom?" or "How much for tile?" Right? And then it gives them a range. Yeah, you get anywhere from like 50 cents a square foot if you want it to be like, you know, shaped like a toenail, or you can have something that's actually high quality and flat. It depending on where you look on the internet, it gives you a completely different answer. And then you got to also check. Yeah, you also got to check that, hey, is this geographically right? Because this might be information for someplace out in the Midwest where only 3 people live in the entire town. And, you know, tile is cheap versus someplace like Cali or New York.
Like, you could literally Google it right now, and I guarantee you the answer is going to be, you can remodel your bathroom for $500 up to $20,000.
Yeah.
So like that's a huge range.
Yeah, that's,
you know, that's the national
broad.
average. I'm in New York. National average goes out the window right off the bat. I mean, Harry knows how expensive it is up here. Everything's like literally off through the roof. So you're not gonna go in here. What you guys charge, you couldn't do it up here. They would love you up here. They're like, "Oh, that's all you're taking? Perfect."
Yeah.
Compared to other guys, where it's like, "No, you can't do that. It's New York." You know, a regular plumber, I think, is like a $150 an hour just to knock on your door, or $175 now. Actually, might have gone up. $175 to knock at your door. If it's an emergency call, it's $300 on top for the emergency call. So that's $475 for the first hour.
Jeez. Yeah. So let's try to. It looks like we're kind of running low on time here for the podcast. We're gonna have to go to the next episode, but kind of real quick, you know, what's kind of everybody's goal for this next and upcoming week? What do you want to get accomplished? You know, just kind of like a brief rundown, and you know, let's touch base on the next episode. So, Omar.
Yeah, for me, it's just getting this bathroom tiled up. That's my goal, is to get all 3 walls and hopefully the floor. I mean, I'm shooting high here since it's all just me, and hopefully I'm trying to find a helper somewhere. There's an Alex for me, but I'm trying to find me an Alex. But the goal is to get that shower done. Now, hopefully, knock on wood, I'm not shooting myself in the foot and saying it's easy. But we'll see.
Tile wood. Knock on tile wood.
Tile wood. How about you, Johnny?
Yeah, for me, it's really just trying to wrap up some of these estimates and things like that, looking to get some materials taken care of for some of these people and start shooting some of these things out to these customers. And, you know, starting this week, I got a little hallway to do for a customer that I previously did some LVP for, and they want to do the hallway LVP as well. So we'll get that knocked out this week and start getting all these other things knocked out for remaining projects down the road.
Okay. What about you, Harry?
Sounds good. I similar to Donnie, I got to wrap up a couple of estimates. I'm ordering business cards this week. I have to do that this week because the other day we were at Amsterdam Tile and I didn't have any business cards to hand over, and I kind of felt like an idiot. So I'm gonna order some business cards, wrap up these estimates, try to schedule that regrout job, and we are still waiting to hear back from Rusty, but I think the following Monday we should be starting those 2 bathrooms. So we'll get the final details on that. But other than that, that's about it.
Okay. So for me, I'm coordinating. I'm just doing a vanity install. This is kind of odd job. I had a weird, opening, so I just kind of threw in a small project. I'm installing 2 sets of vanities for the bathroom. I'm trying to coordinate with the granite company so that I can drop the cabinets in, and then the next day the granite company, does their measurements and gets that thing cut and ready so the customer, has their bathroom back. After that, I got to close out a couple estimates myself, go to a flooring job, get this flooring thing done, and order material for the 2 bathrooms. So that's what I'm planning to get done this week. And and the inspection for my truck. It's inspection time. I did the oil change, but it's inspection time. So gotta give the state their money. But other than that, that's all for me.
Well, on the next episode, we look forward to get Dave from Shower Concepts.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
The next one. So
yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
Because we have that giveaway we have to take care of.
And we'll touch base on our goals, see if we met it.
We need more details on that.
Yeah, no, I got to get more into it. I got some pictures. It's a standard shower that he's offering. It's 40 by 60 with a curve and a flow effects drain and a standard grate. So that's a pretty good deal for a giveaway. And not a lot of people know about Shower Concepts, which is, I guess I just do a lot of research, but it's a good company. That Dave's good. He'll talk to you direct. It's almost like Chase. He's the one that answered the phone. He's like, okay, what do we got? What's the issue? Let me talk to you. You don't get a runaround, and he works with you closely, which is great because when you're doing these projects, sometimes you run into oddball, situations, and having the actual previous, because he's a tiler himself. So he has tiling experience. Also, when he's building these products, he's putting in the mindset of like, okay, this is going to go into the hands of an installer. How can I make his life easy? But he'll explain all that stuff when we have him on the show. He's good.
Okay. All right,
we gotta talk about like the when the giveaway is gonna be. When we have him on, or does my sound like delayed or something like that? I feel like every time I talk. Okay.
Possibly.
No, you're good. You could be a little. Okay. Delayed. I mean that's natural birth, but we'll get over it.
Jeremiah and me just keep talking at the same time, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah. All right, so I guess we'll see everybody back here on the on next week.
Sounds good.
So, yeah,
sweet.
All right, sounds like a plan. Peace out, guys.
Everybody, crush it. Let's go.
Yep.
All right.